There is already a lot to think about when training for a big race like a marathon. Like, how do I fit in all of the training runs? How do I fit in all of the food? And how do I tell as many people as possible that I'm training for a marathon? Now, if that wasn't enough, when it comes to popping our shoes on and actually heading out, how fast should I actually be running and how should it feel? To answer that, we need to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. So when training for any race, there are two general goals. So first is maximize performance, and the second is minimize undesirable outcomes like fatigue and injury. Now, fatigue and injury usually happen when you run too fast, too far, too often. And it's common for runners, especially those who are new to running, to run at just one pace, a pace that's neither slow nor fast. And at that mono pace, it ends up feeling a bit difficult to maintain, which can feel demotivating. But you sort of carry on anyway, which can be a sort of one-way ticket to fatigue and burnout. So the antidote and performance enhancer to this is running at a variety of paces. More on that in a bit. But don't take my words for it, take the pros. So a study of elite athletes across 1500 meters all the way up to marathon distance found that they all kind of trained 80% at low intensity. So logically 20% fast or 80-20 if you've heard of that. So of course, an athlete's version of a low intensity is probably, gee, that's fast as fuck.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
But at its core, it's no ego training. They run slow most of the time to show what they're made of in the fast stuff, when less experienced runners would rock up to those fast sessions already fatigued after running the easy runs a bit too fast. So what does no ego training look like in practice? Let's go back to our elite marathoners. Let's look at elite marathon runner Eliud Kipchoge. His world record pace in a marathon was about 2:52 a kilometer, and his recovery pace goes all the way up to 5 minutes a kilometer. That's a massive gap. But the 80-20 method isn't just for elite runners, it's for all of us. And to show that, a study of runners found after 9 weeks of using 80-20, they were able to run around 17.4% further, and their peak speed will be 5.1% faster. So from this, we really can say that the slow miles increases your capacity to run those fast miles where the magic happens. And if you couple that good fast speed work with a lot of endurance work, it means you can basically hold fast pace for a lot longer. So look at it this way. I think there are only two really important sessions in your training plan each week. So there's the speedy stuff, so speed or tempo, and your long run. So as long as you can rock up to these sessions feeling fresh, you're going to be doing most of the hard work really well. So the slow stuff builds the engine, and being fresh for the fast stuff means you can hit the faster paces for much longer, building outright fitness. But just how slow is the slow stuff? I'm going to head out and show you. I hope it's not too cold. So it is freezing cold. First pace we're going to go at is going to be a nice easy effort. So we're going to go through 5 different paces. They're going to get progressively faster, and basically through my description of effort, hopefully you're going to know exactly how it should feel and sound. So first one, at an easy pace, it should be a lot slower than you think. So when you go out running naturally, it's a slower pace than that. So this is going to be the running you're doing for 80% of the time, and basically you can just talk in paragraphs all day long, nice and easy. So I like to do a talk test where if I'm like midway through a long run, I repeat the sentence, "Hi, my name is Lawrence, and today I'm running at a lovely easy pace." So if I can repeat that easily, then good. If not, then I probably need to slow down. But obviously you can replace your own name, you don't have to say Lawrence. Second pace is where things start to speed up a bit. So
we're going to go to a steady pace. And all this is just going to be a bit faster than easy. You probably include this in your marathon pace long run blocks, and all we're going to be doing is running a bit faster. Sentences are a bit harder to say, but I can still talk in nice full sentences. Slightly harder than easy, obviously, but yeah, the steady pace is a really good place between your easy and your tempo. Speaking of which, going to switch up again to our tempo pace. So, as you can see, I've shut up, and we're probably going to need subtitles because tempo is where things start to get a lot harder. My breathing's gone up a lot. I can talk in probably like very short sentences, which is very useful. I'm going to slow it down to easy again, and then we're going to go back into our next block, which will be a threshold. So all in the breathing, and you can tell with the sentence lengths that pushing a bit harder. So just remember to restart the watch. Can't be losing those valuable miles to Strava. So next one is going to be our threshold. Now this is going to feel a lot heavier than tempo. Basically where things start to turn and you can only really hold this pace for like 10-minute reps maybe. But here we go. So this is basically about a 10k pace. As you can see, I am not talking coherently, so subtitles needed, but you shouldn't be able to talk that much in threshold. These reps only last around 10 minutes, and that's okay. So slowing back down to easy, and then we go into the last pace zone, which will be our speed. I think for obvious reasons I won't do a commentary over speed. That will just be subtitles. I guess for your own amusement, this is what speed will be like. So speed is basically anything faster than threshold, obviously. So this will kind of like count all the way from your 5k pace to your mile pace, all the way to reps that are like 4 to 100 meters. Either way, very, very fast. I don't think there's much point in me doing a talk test, but here we go. So this is a rep you probably hold for like 5 minutes, max. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so that's how I feel. Boxes. Okay. Okay. And down. So, keeping there, I couldn't talk at all. And that's important. So, when you've got your speed reps once a week at least, you should know you're working hard enough because you cannot speak.
If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble.
So as I said, all of these pace zones are not pegged to a certain pace on your watch. Can't see my watch because it's so cold, it's underneath my quarter zip. But basically, it's how you feel pegged to those conversations. So easy, you can talk out all day long. Steady, sentences, tempo, words. Threshold, gobbledygook, speed, no words. So basically when it's really cold today, it's a bit harder to get yourself warmed up, so the heart has to work a bit harder. But yeah, based on how you feel and the external environment.
So, right, I'm not even going to pretend that I've just come back in from the outside. But let's bring this all together. So remember what we said about staying fresh for those crucial sessions. The key is not to put high lows next to each of those sessions. You want to be coming into those sessions as fresh as you can. So an easy run either side of your speed or long runs, ideally. The reason for this is that we stay in one piece. So the objective of a good training block is that we are training consistently, intensely. Consistently is probably a more important word there, because if you get too fatigued running too fast, too often, then you have to take a bunch of time out, and that good chain of consistency breaks and you have to build it up again from the start. So your mentality in the rest of your mileage is that you're running slow enough, that you're fresh enough for those two crucial runs, the long and the speedy stuff. Anyway, I hope my gibberish conversations with myself running around the park made some sense to you and sort of helps you with gauging what each pace should feel like. I encourage you, talk to yourself on your run. It makes you look absolutely hilarious. But yeah, if this has helped you, or if you've got any more questions, drop them down in the comment section below and I will be happy to answer them. But anyway, thank you for watching and I shall see you next time.